Yeah. So definitely the whole thing with the intuition, as you said, the best decisions in the long run are made intuitively. But as another thing you said earlier is that this path of higher agency, maybe of deciding or deciding what your own path is, um, can come with a lot of uncertainty. And this is what I've experienced every time, that if you chose to follow your gut instincts, it's not easier because of that. It feels right, but there's struggles you can't even foresee at this point. So I definitely feel this a lot. So it matters to me, and so this book, to kind of circle a bit back to your process in writing it, you mainly, or so to say, as a technique for writing it as a personal book you would write to your younger self. And I think this is a great thing to kind of reflect upon what you would say to your years ago, or help someone else who is at like the same age or at the same stage of their life, like maybe I am currently. Um, and so how did you get to kind of deciding that you want to write a book? So you made through the things, you set up a podcast, doing podcasts for years, and then all of a sudden you decide to write a book. You have said you went through this, and I see many people just build up on like an audience to finally have the power to sell something passively, and you can always sense these profit based books where you kind of see, yeah, this is just another regular self-help book in, as we say, the same in green as in Germany we say that. It's basically the same, just painted in another color or kind of switch back. But I definitely liked the perspective on this here. So at what point exactly did you get to have this product vision? So you're putting your thoughts into a product, which is a book.
Yeah. So a lot to unpack there. First of all, the thing that has made it so difficult is exactly that you say a lot of people. Uh, it you can feel when someone is just trying to sell you stuff, right? But then
Yeah.
I also think on. I'm gonna put it also the video here is Tyler the creator. He's doing an interview and he's saying, you spent all of this time, all of this effort, all of this sweat and tears, all of this creative output of yours, creating something, on this instance, the book. And you're not saying you're going to be the number one fan of your book. You're not going to put it out there and just share it with the world. And so that has convinced me to put the book out there, to post it on X, to share it with people, even though it feels cringy, because the book in itself wasn't really written at all for it to make sales. And I genuinely mean it. It began as a journal. I used to wake up, and first thing in the morning, I had all of these ideas in my mind, all of these questions. And I love writing. I've been writing my whole life, and I just spit the ideas on a
Yeah.
Google Docs. I just started throwing all out there, uh, without judgment. Just it doesn't have to make sense with typos. Just ugly, just raw, putting it out there. And after a month, I started noticing that, hey, dude, you've been writing like almost. If you would have been a writer and like your goal was to create a book, you're writing almost like 2,000 words a day in a span of like 2 hours, 1 hour,
Yeah.
and it didn't feel like it. It felt like someone was just like saying these ideas and I was just, putting them. It felt like I was a conduit. And it's very
Yeah.
trippy because I've never felt that in my writing ever. And I started seeing the patterns, the trends that were happening worldwide, this meaning crisis that we're facing in modernity, that work doesn't make sense. There's a all-time high uh, people facing anxiety and depression, uh, infertility. There's so many challenges that we're facing, and I'm not a doctor. I don't think I'm a writer either. Um, I just
Yeah.
I started seeing that maybe a big chunk of all of this unhappiness is we're lacking meaning, and we're lacking this allowance of telling ourselves, like you said, Emil, we have this high sense of agency in life. We can honor our time on earth. You're allowed to explore your passions. You're allowed to create your life. It's just you don't have to be passive through life. You don't have to conform to a career, even though, like I said before, it's increasingly difficult not to do so given the economical constraints.